Thank you for tuning in to Gloves Off Seattle. Your hosts, Patti and Meagan, will be talking about all things Seattle women's hockey. A huge Pacific Northwest welcome to the PWHL. Gloves Off Seattle! All right, here we go. Well, hello, and welcome to another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.
Gloves Off Seattle.
Ha! Well, Gloves Off. This is a different kind of glove today, guys. So as we teased on our last episode, we have a very special guest for those that are listening and not watching. But for those that are watching, you can see we have Ashton LANSDELL. And I'm saying that correctly, LANSDELL?
LANSDELL, that is correct.
Awesome. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. So, so people know, we met Ashton at a Party Animals and Indiana Clowns game, but for the Banana Ball League. And so we're just very interested, obviously, because we're into women's sports, even though this is a podcast specifically for the Seattle Torrent. We still wanted to know all about what was going on with women's professional baseball. So
yeah, because it's just starting, and we have our time around to do it. Then the 4th of July, it's America's pastime. So I think this is a great time to come out with this.
I think it's a great time to come out with this episode. But so we always ask, the first question we always ask people when they come on our show, especially players, is we ask how they got into hockey. But obviously for you, how did you get into baseball? Because I feel like this is a little windy road because most women don't start playing baseball right off the bat. So yeah. I'm going to let you go. How did you get into baseball?
Yeah. So, my dad grew up playing baseball his whole life. And I guess you could say it was just kind of in the blood in the family. And I picked up a baseball as early as 4 years old, started playing T-ball. When you're that young, it's mostly co-ed. It's just, young kids running around trying to figure out the game of baseball, and started playing T-ball. And honestly just fell in love with the game. I was in just like a church rec ball league and would play in my backyard. And I played other sports too, but I just fell in love with the game of baseball. And I just kept playing. Honestly, I grew up, in a very good community who was very welcoming and accepting of me playing baseball. And even though there would still always be people who would tell me I would have to eventually switch to softball, I literally just told them no, like, why? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're trying to make me play another sport when I've grown up playing baseball my whole life. And people would try to tell me to go play softball. I mean, as young as like 6, 7, 8 years old. And even at that age, I was like, no, I'm a baseball player. Like, I've played baseball. And I just never understood it from that young of an age. And I guess you could just say I've been a hard-headed kid since from the jump, and would just tell people no. I mean, as simple as that, but it wasn't really simple. Telling grown adults that, I don't want to do this, or I'm not going to listen to you. And it's like, okay, what do you do? I'm like, well, I'm just going to continue to play baseball. I don't care what you say or what you think. And yeah, just continued. I didn't care what anyone really told me or tried to make me do. I didn't like people telling me what I could or couldn't do. So
did you play co-ed? Because obviously you were strong-headed, and you went down that and you kept playing baseball. So did you play with mostly boys then?
Yeah.
From a certain age?
Yeah. When you're pretty young, it's mostly co-ed, like T-ball and very early rec leagues, mostly co-ed. But once you get into, I don't know, about say 7 or 8 years old, that's when the leagues kind of start to separate and develop really. And that's when you would see a lot of girls go and play softball. And I just didn't want to do that. It literally just never made sense to me. And I was like, no, I'm pro baseball. If it's all boys, I don't care. If it's boys and girls, I don't care. I just want to play the game of baseball.
Okay. So let me ask you this. You get into high school, because I know that there's a pathway, right? And so you get into high school. How do you start down the baseball path? Like, how do you do that?
Yes. So I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina, and then I moved to Georgia when I was 9 years old. We just had family in this area, and so we moved to Marietta, Georgia, and we just found a baseball community. And I was just very lucky to have found that community who was very accepting and didn't really push me too hard to go and play softball, because I've heard so many stories of other young girls and females who have been in their hometown communities and they are literally forced into playing softball or to quitting baseball. And I luckily never really experienced that. So getting into high school, I grew up with all of these guys and all these coaches and other schools. They knew me. I was the girl that played baseball in the county, in Cobb County, in Marietta, Georgia, and even the surrounding counties. Like, people just knew that I was the girl that played baseball because I would wear my hair down. I had long hair growing up and everything. I never put it up in a ponytail or anything. So they knew that, that was the girl, and that was the girl that played baseball. So getting into high school, I knew all of the guys pretty much on the high school team at Wheeler High School in Marietta, Georgia. The coach knew of me and kind of like expected me one day to get there. And I got to high school my freshman year, made the junior varsity team, and there was just no pushback for me to not play baseball. I think they were just very welcoming to me, but they also saw that I was just a good athlete and a good baseball player, and they respected that. And even though they would try to get me to also play on the softball team, well, number one, I didn't want to play softball. That was like no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, I was like, no, I'm playing baseball. On top of it, our softball team was just like really not good at all. So I was like, I can't save your program either. So I'm just like going to have to say no for all reasons. I just really, it was growing up in a supportive community.
Wow.
And I'm sure your parents had to support you 100% there as well. So
yeah, travel baseball, I don't know how familiar you guys are with like the sport of baseball, travel baseball. It's not easy at all. It's number one, expensive. Thousands of dollars to make the team, more thousands to even get into certain tournaments. They traveled with me everywhere. Took me to wherever I needed to go, all around the state of Georgia, even outside of different states, even outside of the country. Like, they supported me through and through, no matter what. They knew I was very determined to just play baseball, and they honestly just loved that about me. And they would do anything and everything to support me and to make sure I have the opportunity to continue to play baseball and to just prove myself. And they were very happy to have me as their daughter. They love me so much.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, I know that my wife did a little digging on you, and because I'm like ready to go to the next level. In college, though, you did play softball.
I did.
So how did that happen?
Yeah. So getting into college after my senior year of high school, my goal was to always continue to play baseball, right? So I played a year of college baseball at Georgia Highlands College. It's a JUCO level baseball. Had a year of JUCO baseball under Dash O'Neill at Georgia Highlands College. And then I actually tore my ACL, had knee surgery. It was my second knee surgery in 4 years or something like that. So that happened, had surgery, and then COVID shut down that season anyway. So it's like I didn't really miss a whole much, but I did get that college baseball experience. So JUCO Bandit, I will always say that. I experienced all of it through and through and everything. But as COVID happened and the world shut down, it kind of left me in this little time period of figuring out what I want to do. I was in the middle of rehab for my ACL. I ended up getting a job. I worked at Starbucks for a few months. And then I ended up getting a job at a Mini Cooper car dealership out of all places. My stepdad's in the car business. So I was making money for the first time in forever. And I was like, oh, this is kind of nice. I'm going to do this for a little bit. So I ended up moving out of my parents' house, basically had a full-time job and everything. And I guess I kind of said goodbye to playing college sports. I didn't, at the time, this was in 2020 and 2021. I didn't know if I was going to go back and play collegiate sports, whether that was baseball or softball. It wasn't really on my mind. I was just kind of wanting to make money. I thought I was going to be like a personal trainer, potentially a coach one day. And I was just fully enjoying the adult life for the time period. And then a year or so passes by and I'm like, yeah, this kind of sucks. Like, I hate this. I hate the 9-to-5 life. Not for me. Like, I was making great money. There was a month where I got like a 10 grand bonus check as a 20-year-old. Like,
what?
Yeah, working in the car business, like, you can get some good benefits and stuff, but it just wasn't for me. And I was like, gang, what can I do? I was always welcomed back to Georgia Highlands to play baseball again. And I was like, yeah, like, I could do that, but just looking at finances and stuff, and now finally thinking like an adult on the financial side of everything, I was like, it's probably not the best idea to stack on more college loans and stuff. So I was like, I've been told my whole life I can get a really good scholarship to play college softball. And it's always been a goal of mine to play Division I college sports. And always thought it was going to be baseball, but I was like, if it's not going to be baseball, let's maybe see what this softball thing has for me. So I reached out to my USA now team head coach, Veronica Alvarez. She made a few phone calls for me, talked to some coaches around the country, and ended up going to Florida International University on like a 95% scholarship, literally without ever touching a softball.
Wow.
So, okay, wow, I have so many questions. So
It's been a journey.
no, but not just that, just because number one, I think that like we are somewhat ignorant, obviously, to the sport because like we focus on a different sport, but I'm so interested to understand because I didn't even realize that there was an avenue for women to play like D1 baseball. Like, cause I was assuming when you played in junior college, you were playing with the
All boys.
male team. Right. Okay.
Girl on the team. I'm the first ever girl to play JUCO baseball ever.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, and currently she actually just graduated from Brown University, but there's a female, Olivia Pichardo, who played Division I baseball at Brown University for the last 4 years. Now she's actually funny enough, starting her softball journey. She wants to see where she can go with softball, so kind of like similar, but she's the first girl to play Division I college baseball with all guys.
Okay. So then you transferred to softball because obviously the scholarship was there, which I mean, I get it. Like financially, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing I was thinking when you were telling the story about, working the car dealership, I'm like, did you ever think that like in 5 or 6 years you'd be a professional athlete? Like, was that on your horizon to be a professional athlete?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been on my horizon. I'm a big dreamer and just like, I have like, I don't know how it sounds. Like, it probably sounds crazy, but like, I'm a big visual person. So I feel like from as young as I can remember, I've always seen myself like in an MLB jersey, playing in MLB stadiums and like on this big stage being a baseball player. And it's like, I had these visions from a very young age. I was like, I don't know, just holding on to it my whole entire life because I felt like it was my calling essentially. And I mean, it's
who she reminds me of.
It sounds cliche.
It's CJ. No, you remind me of CJ, Carly Jackson. I don't know if you know who Carly Jackson is.
No.
She's a goalie, or they are a goalie, and they play for the Torrent. And when we interviewed them, they said almost the exact same thing. I'm like, did you ever see yourself playing professional hockey? And they said, since I was a little kid, I knew it was going to happen. And it's just like, I
didn't know what it was going to look like, but I just like, it's literally like a calling. I don't know. And I knew it wasn't going to be softball. Like, I mean, I'd probably do have the avenue right now to potentially go play professional softball, but that's not what I want to do. I'm a baseball player and I know that. And I've always seen myself from a very young age being a professional baseball player.
You manifested that for yourself.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big believer in manifestation.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Did you have another question?
I mean, I'm ready to seg to the next section.
Okay, yeah. So after college, let's talk about that. Like, so I want to hear like Banana Ball, Women's Professional Baseball League. Like, tell us how all of this came to fruition.
Yeah, so when I was at FIU, I spent 2 years at FIU. My second year, the Savannah Bananas actually reached out to me. This is when they were kind of on the come up. This is in 2024. I was in the middle of my second season at FIU. This is before I transferred to Ole Miss for my final collegiate softball season. So in 2024, probably around May or April, around that time, they reached out to me. I got a text or a phone call or something. They're like, hey, this is Tyler Gillum from the Savannah Bananas. We're looking for female baseball players. And, we received your name from Valerie Perez. She's my USA teammate who went to tryout. And they're like, you're awesome. Do you know any more girls that have the athletic ability and persona to play banana ball? And she immediately said my name. So shout out Valerie Perez. But yeah, they called me, which is the craziest thing, I think. And this is when banana ball was still kind of on the come up. They were just making a name for themselves. This is when they were still only playing, I believe, in minor league stadiums. They only had one MLB stadium in 2024. It was either like 1 or 2 or something like that. But today, I mean, their entire schedule is selling out MLB stadiums. So this is like the very beginning kind of them. So they reached out to me. I ended up playing for them mostly as a pitcher, but I did play a little bit of second base for the Savannah Bananas. I was with them for a little over a month in the summer of 2024. And then after that was over, after that summer, I entered the portal, transferred to Ole Miss, went to the World Series with Ole Miss, and I was still in cahoots with banana ball, and nothing was promised at all. But I was kind of just holding on to the hope and the fact that they liked me. I liked them. The guys are great. The coaches are great. They treated me great and vice versa. And I was like, hopefully I go back next year in 2025. I don't know. And then they reached out and they were basically, hey, we're looking at getting more females involved with banana ball. How would you feel about being a party animal? And I was like, heck yeah. I essentially got, I guess I said, traded to the party animals. In 2025, I was with them for 2 months it was like July through September ish. And then, yeah, now I'm full time with the party animals after I graduated college. And yeah.
So that's news to me because I thought that this season was the first season that they had females playing with the league. And like you said, they've blown up a lot, and we knew about banana ball and like had seen it on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. But this was our first game that we went to that we saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And so that was like, I made the assumption it was the first year that with females had been in the league. So that's cool that it's been 2 or 3 years now, right?
This is the first year that there is a female on every team. There's 6 teams in banana balls in the banana ball championship league right now. There's 1 female on every team. But back in 2024, I was one of the first females to play in the organization. There was one lady. She's the wife of Matt Wolf. I believe her name is Megan Wolf. She made an appearance as a Savannah Banana at some point. I think in 2024. I'm not too sure. But then Jocelyn Allo, I don't know if you guys know her. She's very big in the softball world. She's known as the home run queen. She kind of did the same thing that I did with the Savannah Bananas. She was with them for about a month, and then I came in right after her. And then, and then Val Perez was also around that same time. So me, Val, and kind of Jocelyn, but me and Val are the ones that are still involved with banana ball. We were one of the first ones to be involved with the league.
Wow. And it's amazing that they have a woman on every team now because they just recently expanded, right? To 6 teams. Was it 4 before?
4 teams last year. So the 4, the teams in order how they've been created were the Savannahs, and then the party animals, and then the firefighters, and then the Texas tailgaters. So that was the 4 teams in 2025. And then 2026, they added the clowns and the coconuts.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is amazing. Yep. And that's a lot of travel, right? That's like traveling all the time.
Oh boy. Yeah, it's wild. I mean, I have been home in my house in Savannah for all of maybe like 4 or 5 days this month.
Wow.
Yeah, new location, new city every single weekend.
Wow. That's impressive.
All of the country, like coast to coast, everything.
Yeah. And so I think, the big news that we really, really want to talk, we want to talk about all of this, but to talk about the Women's Professional Baseball League, WPBL, getting all these acronyms right are just so hard. But the season is getting ready to start in August. So first of all, let's talk about the fact that you were drafted, 7th overall?
7th overall.
Yeah. And congratulations to that. And so tell us a little bit about what was this draft experience like? Yeah, tell us about that.
I mean, to even have a women's pro baseball league right now is still mind-blowing in a way. Like, it's been over 70 years since there has been a women's pro baseball league. And I didn't think that it would, I thought that I would be a player in whenever the next women's pro baseball league, but I didn't think I would be as young as I am now. I'm 25 years old. I'm still kind of in my prime athletic careers and stuff. So I thought I was going to be like at the end of my playing career, maybe getting into a coach when this league starts. And here I am at 25 being one of the main faces of this league. So when they announced it, I was like, no way, this is real. Like, I don't believe that this is actually happening. And then it is happening. And we had tryouts. There were 600 women in tryouts trying out for these 4 teams. We only had 60 players be drafted. And then, so the tryouts were last year in August of 2025. And then the draft was in November of 2025. And then being a part of a draft, that's something I never thought that I would really get to experience. And
did you have to try out, Ashton?
Not essentially. So there were a handful of girls like myself, like Val Perez, like Danae Benitez, a handful of us got offered contracts ahead of time because, they just kind of wanted to secure some spots and kind of legitimize this whole thing. And we are all just very well-known and established baseball players. Like, we have shown to the world and to people that, we are good at what we do. We're good baseball players. So I think to kind of like legitimize everything a little bit, they offered a handful of people contracts ahead of time. So I did get that contract. I didn't immediately sign it right away because there were just some things to be figured out and stuff. So I still made an appearance at tryouts, even though it was almost like quote unquote guaranteed that I would be in the league. But I still wanted to go there and show face and just show that like I don't care if I have already been offered a contract. I want, it to seem like it's the fair shot to everyone. So yeah, I still made an appearance. I played in one of the exhibition games. We got to play at the Washington Nationals MLB stadium. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't have to go, but I wanted to go.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
And
then
did they do draft? Did they do the draft, like the experience, like the stage and like the calling out? And is there
Free there.
So with the draft, all of us women in this league are all over the world. Different, I don't know how many countries are represented. I think it's 10 countries, 5 continents or something like that.
Cool.
I don't know the numbers exactly. So we we physically could not be in one room. So it was more so of like a virtual draft. I believe they streamed it on YouTube, so it was free to everyone. So different people had different watch parties and stuff. So like Kelsey Whitmore had a watch party with her family in California. Amanda Gianalone had her own watch party in Louisiana. All over the country, we had these spots with families and friends and everything. But I was actually at a women's baseball tournament in Fort Myers, Florida, along with at least a dozen to 20 other girls who were in this draft. So I was like, okay, like we got to do something. We're all in this tournament together. It's like very rare that we're all ever in one location at the same time. So I was like, let's find out how to do something. So we were playing at JetBlue Park, which is the spring training facility for the Boston Red Sox. And they were kind enough to give us access to their field. And they made it so legit. Like we had a podium with the Women of Baseball League sign on it. They had us in the dugouts. They had a food spread out for us. We had all of our friends and family who were in Fort Myers for this tournament. They had us come out. They could sit in the stands, and they had it playing on the big old video board in the outfield. And we got to watch the whole draft go about and watch everyone's name get called. And then once your name got called, you got to walk up to the podium. We didn't have enough time to say anything because they were kind of rolling through the draftees and stuff, but got to walk up to the podium, take pictures, and sign your very first professional autograph on a baseball. We had a
love it.
I forget the exact the drop screen. I forget what it's called. Step and repeat. I believe.
Oh, step and repeat. Yeah.
Because
Step and repeat. Yes.
so we got to take pictures, and like it was like a paparazzi type moment. So it was really cool. We had probably 20 girls get drafted at that draft party.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
No, I'm getting chills. Like I just love it. I just love it so much. Okay, so if if my understanding is correct on the little recon that I did, all of the games are being played in Springfield, Illinois. Is that correct? Even though like you're on the LA team and there's a Boston team, and okay. So, but all of the games, and then how long is the season, and how many games are you playing?
So the season is from August 1st to about September 20th. The regular season consists of 30 games. Each team will play 15 games in the regular season. The 4 teams are Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, and Boston.
Okay.
Even though we are representing those teams and those cities, we are all playing in one location just for, the first season. There's a lot of things to figure out. It doesn't really make sense for a 6-week season to travel across the country because the teams are coast to coast, So like, let's do a neutral location. We'll have you guys there. And we were lucky enough to find this minor league stadium that actually the women professional players back in the 40s played on this field in Springfield, Illinois. And it's not being utilized for this time period that we're going to be there. So we have a full-on minor league stadium that's not being used, that can be our own for this time period. So we'll get our own locker rooms, our very own field, and we'll just get to be there and make it our own and just give it the entire WPBL experience.
Wow.
And playoffs. Playoffs are the first is best out of 3. So the first round of players is best out of 3, and then a championship game is best out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is so amazing. Okay. Because I know people like, and this is what I've heard, which I actually think this is great that they're playing them all in one location. Because people are like, yeah, we're going to take a week and we're just going to go hang out in Springfield and like catch as many games as we can.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's actually pretty brilliant. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know eventually, hopefully the league will grow in a way that you guys can have home stadiums and that'll be a whole different, thing. But I just think especially because, we've been part of the PWHL and like seeing it like get off the ground and that sort of thing, and just seeing the different moves that these leagues are choosing to make, and they don't have to like follow like a standard. Like, so like, obviously I don't think that like, it doesn't sound like the women's league is just saying like, oh, we have to do the MLB thing. It's like, no, we can do whatever we want to do, right? Okay, we're our own thing. And I just think that that's pretty amazing.
And to be playing on a field that the professional women played on in the 40s, that is just outrageously awesome. And did you see the movie, or is that like totally out of?
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen it multiple times.
Okay.
I know it's older. We aging ourselves.
I feel like if you're a girl baseball player, you just have to watch a movie. Like, you have to do it.
Yes. For lots of reasons. There's a lot of good reasons to watch that movie, but yeah, absolutely.
The creators of this league, Keith Stein and Justine Siegel and everything, they are very big on getting the history involved with this league. So that's why they chose this location in this stadium. The team names haven't been announced yet. They should be announced within the next week. I wish I could say what they are, but
I was like, are we getting a spoiler?
Do you know? I can't drag it out of you, but do you know? Do you know?
I do know them. They're really good.
Good.
Historical ties and references to the team names and stuff. So yeah, I mean,
I'm really excited now
to get the history involved from women's baseball from the past 100 years.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's so cool.
It's amazing. So go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and so I also want to pull out of you that you have started doing a podcast for
Are they snagging?
Yeah. So tell us about that. Why did you decide to start doing a podcast?
It was their idea. They're like, we want every way possible to get the word out, to showcase our wonderful athletes and personalities that we have. And they reached out to me. And Keith just loves me and my personality and stuff. And he was like, we think you would be a fantastic host of this podcast. And he's like, if you're willing to do it, we're not going to, make you do all this extra stuff, whatever. But if you would like to, we would love for you to be the host. And ironically, my coach at Ole Miss, he was like, Ashton, I think you would be fantastic on a podcast. Like, you just start your own podcast. So when he asked me to do this, I was like, yeah, why not? Like, this kind of gets my foot in the door, and I don't even have to like produce it myself. I literally just get on the mic, talk, record, and everything else is out of my hands.
That's amazing, because
I was like, I would love it. I would love that.
Editor and social media,
everything.
To do any of it, it is definitely a blessing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is definitely the way to do it.
Like getting
my wife knows, like she knows. You just get on the mic and be funny, and you don't really have to do anything else. No, I'm kidding.
Also, though, I mean, your personality is just amazing, Ashton. And I
like you.
Banana Balls. I mean, we were just enthralled with you the entire time. The only thing we were sad about is that you didn't play in that game.
Yeah. I know. We were like, we would have loved to have seen you actually play.
Time is difficult in the league. I mean, there's just so many moving pieces with entertainment and baseball and stuff. I do play every single weekend, but not every single game.
Yeah.
I have had conversations about what that may look like in the future. So unfortunately, I'm about to next weekend is my last weekend with Banana Ball for about 2 months, because now we have USA Baseball and WPBL going around very, very soon. So it was like not the best time to have this conversation. But in the future, when I get back into Banana Ball, hopefully I can work my way to play in every game. I'm going to start pitching again and stuff. And I was like, I just want to do everything I can to get more opportunities to play, because even though I love the entertainment I love entertainment aspect of it, and I can be this character, I'm still an athlete to my core, and like I'm a competitor, and it kills me not being able to like contribute to the game. So I had some conversations with my coaches and stuff, and we're gonna do some things in the future to get me some more playing time. So if we ever come back to Tacoma, hopefully I would, play in that game.
That would be awesome.
And where are you playing next weekend?
Next weekend is Midland, Texas.
Oh, then we won't be there.
No,
go see her and you play.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so also let's talk about USA Baseball, because am I completely coming out of left field? Am I making up that the women's baseball might be a US Olympic sport? Am I making that?
So it's not an Olympic sport in the Olympics, but it is on the same level of it. So we are in the World Baseball Softball Classic organization, WBSC, which is, for the past few years, baseball and softball both have not been in the Olympics last however long. It's been a while. In 2028, softball and baseball are coming back into the Olympics, but unfortunately not women's baseball, because there are not enough countries that qualify to be in the Olympics. So hopefully in the future, once we have more countries with women national baseball teams, then yes, it can be in the Olympics. And actually, I went to Uganda a few years ago to help Uganda develop a national team with some of my USA teammates and stuff. So we're actively working towards, growing the game all over the globe so we can get into the real Olympics. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we still play in a World Cup. We still get medals, silver medals, bronze medals. It's just not the Olympics. It's WBSC.
Okay. Okay. So, my question to you is, when do you sleep?
I love my sleep. I'm a sleeper. Like,
Me too.
I love my sleep. So I find time to, it's not always as much as I would like, but I do sleep on planes. Thankfully, I don't have a problem with that. I just bought an eye mask. That has been a game changer. And looking at getting some earplugs here soon, I'm sure. But yeah, I sleep when I can. Honestly, it's not always easy. Our weekends are crazy. Like, I don't get back to my hotel till midnight or past midnight, sometimes after banana ball games. So it's tough, but I definitely find my time to sleep because that is a huge priority of mine.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. How else do you protect your mental health? Because traveling is rough.
It is hard. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be lying to you if the last month hasn't been like kind of rough, just with everything going on and traveling and just worrying about so many other things and stuff. Like, I haven't seen my girlfriend in over a month because
I was gonna say, I think you're in a relationship too. So yeah, I don't know how you keep that going either.
she's a pro softball player, so our schedules are jam packed. Even though we understand exactly how that goes, that doesn't make it. I mean, it makes it kind of easier, but it's not easy to say the least. So we haven't seen each other in a while, and yeah, it's hard sometimes. But I'm a big journaler. I love to journal and write things down. When I'm at locations, like, I will try to go find a massage or a spa, or there's actually a place right across the street that has like red light therapy and cold plunges and saunas. It's probably what I'm going to do right after this. So just finding little things like that. And I'm trying to be better at reading. But just the little things that kind of ground me, even just like sitting down and drinking a cup of coffee in the morning without having to grab and go with the coffee, like just little things like that.
Yeah, awesome. That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Okay. There's a lot. And I think that we could probably interview you for like 3 hours, but I just appreciate everything. So if I feel like we've hit all the high notes, but if there's anything else like you want to share with our audience, like obviously our podcast is focused on hockey, but I think that the people who watch our show love women's sports, like in general. And we are in this to grow whatever game we can for whatever girls want to do. And I just love the fact that you had that vision and that ability as a young child. And I just, and it's not all about, obviously, you're not necessarily just in place so that young girls can see themselves, but I think that representation is so important. So, I thank you for being loud and proud, and this is what I want to do, and not taking no for an answer. I think that's great. So anything else? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I just was, because you gave this to me, you tossed this all up, but who were you looking up to when you were a girl? How did you see? Because you didn't have any representation.
Yeah. I mean, I just simply love the game of baseball. My role models growing up, I guess you could say, were like Chipper Jones, Derek Jeter, just all the great baseball players. But I actually got asked this question when we were in Fort Myers. Yeah, I think we were back in Fort Myers in March for our very first spring training event for WPBL. And we did a little panel. It was me, Kelsey Whitmore, Monet Davis, and Amanda Giannoloni. And they asked all of us this question. They were like, who did you look up to? Who did you want to be like when you grew up? Who's your role model? And I sat back and thought, I think I was one of the last ones to answer. And I was like, honestly, I think myself. Like, I just wanted to, make a name, I guess, for myself. And I didn't really have any girls to look up to in the game of baseball very much. Later down the road, I mean, I would definitely say that Veronica Alvarez is a very big role model of mine, but I didn't meet her till I was like 15 years old. So before that, I think I was really just banking on the belief of myself and who I was and what I wanted to be.
Wow, that's amazing.
Bottle that confidence up and sell it, man. I love it. No, if we could all feel that way, that's
absolutely
great. Okay, well, we normally end with Patti getting a last word, so we'll let her have the last word. What would you like to say?
Gosh, I didn't even know last word was coming right now, but I just want to, I think it's manifestation because you seriously have manifested yourself to this point in time, Ashton, and you've paved your own way and you've seen yourself there and you've gotten yourself there. And so I think the manifestation is my last word and just in awe. So
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. The only thing we didn't talk about is for people who can't attend any of your baseball games in person. I know that I don't think the Bananas are televised, are they?
they're on YouTube.
They are. Yes. All the games are on YouTube for free across all 6 teams. We are on ESPN every once in a while. I'm pretty sure almost every weekend there is some sort of game on ESPN, whether it's Bananas, Party Animals, Clowns, whatever. Yesterday, we were just on ABC, national television. So we are growing immensely all the time, but the games are always online on YouTube for free. And then WPBL, I don't think they've announced the streaming platform that it will be on just yet, but it will be online somewhere. So stay posted.
Good. Yes, absolutely. We'll keep everybody posted on that where you can watch because I don't know. I feel like maybe a trip to Springfield, Illinois is in our future.
Yeah,
that would be amazing. I mean, that would be at Robin Roberts Stadium is exactly where we'll be. So
I love it. Yes, I know. We looked it up last night because I was like, where are they playing? I feel like it's in Illinois someplace, and then we found it at Springfield. I was like, yeah.
Kind of in the middle of nowhere, but hey, we'll bring the party.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's gonna become a destination. I feel like that's gonna happen.
Literally transform Springfield. They don't know what's coming for them.
Is look out Springfield.
Yeah.
Well, Ashton, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today. And everybody just get hyped for baseball. And it's the off season of hockey. So we can find another, that's right. We can get into baseball for the next couple of months.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you guys for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye. Have a good one.
And that's the show. Tune in next time for another episode of Gloves Off Seattle.